Big video here today, guys, for XRP. Very important update. If you caught the videos last week, you'll understand that we've been waiting for this move down on XRP, and since last week's video on Tuesday and the Friday end of week recap video, price was up at these levels where it just gone for that double stab at the highs here, and now price has sold off and is meeting some of our conditions to enter that trade. So we're going to get into that today. There's a lot to cover in this video. It's a pretty big video, so we're going to go over everything that I'm looking at as far as XRP wise, and how I think it's potentially likely that the bottom is in for XRP and that things could run up very high here very fast over the next month or so. So let's jump into it. First thing I want to go back and have a look at is last week's video, and I just want you guys to watch this really quick and understand why the conditions have been met and what we spoke about. The bottom is marked. So by today's standards, once we break down past this level and then bounce back above it, it's likely confirmed that wherever XRP lands, whether it be in the supply zone or just shy of it, that the bottom has been hit, and that we've had our first sign of break of market structure, and that we're likely to move back to the upside like we did in this example and like we did in this example. So we're back today after last week's video, and price has come down, found support here where we were looking for, and then broke down, and it's only just these two candles here that we've seen close below this zone, and now we've seen price close back above. So technically speaking, the bottom could be in here for XRP. A lot of the conditions have been met that we spoke about in that last video, and now we do see price moving accordingly. On top of that, we have the Bitcoin dominance at the 618, which we've been speaking about for a while now, and it has made its way up here and doesn't look like it is pushing any higher than where it's at right now. On top of that, we have Ethereum waking up, already up like 10% on the day, and we have the total market cap of crypto here except Bitcoin also looking good, following the same structure as Ethereum. So let's have a look at what we spoke about last week and have a look at these examples and why we think today's price is mirroring these examples, but also why I'm not 100% confident that this is the bottom and that there still may be a little bit more trickery and support's actually getting found here. So when we had a look at this example last week and then this example as well, we spoke about how price would make it in its fifth wave back to this top of this demand zone up here, which it did both times, making it back to this demand zone. And then we've seen this A, B, C sell-off here, which swept the bottom of our fourth wave. Similar in this example, we've seen this A, B, C correction here, which has swept the bottom of our fourth wave, and that once price would recover from that, technically the bottom was in, just like it was both these times when the price had closed candles below here and then closed back above, the bottom was in. Now if we look at today, we can see that price has played out very similar. We've had that almost A, B, C correction here, although it is very shallow, we still have closed candles below this, and technically all fundamentals for our trade have been met. On top of all of this, we have the XRP market cap dominance here, which is back at its support levels, which every time it's got down to these levels, we've seen a bounce. And now it's teetered around down here all of May, seeing some pops. And now we're back down at this level. However, the only thing that doesn't have me fully convinced yet is this fractal here from XRP back in November last year, before it went for its massive run and we've seen the dominance spike to the upside heavily. We did see similar price action play out with the dominance here for XRP. Although things have been playing out differently from this point on, we're still at interesting levels here where it's likely that the dominance could break down further in a quick sweep, which may actually give us these two price levels we're looking at for XRP, which would make me much more confident on taking the live trade. So the initial plan with this live trade was to catch a 20% entry here and another 20% entry at the potential low here, and then full scale into this position once we've seen price close back above this fourth wave here. Similar to this example, if we had a scaled in a bit here, and then got our full position back on the close here, same here, we would have been in a great situation. Except today's price action hasn't given us either entry that we were looking for, and we have seen 4-hour candles close back above this fourth wave here. So we haven't had a great opportunity to enter the trade. And just having a look at today's price action, I'm not too confident. Even though a lot of the targets have been met, this is still only a B+ trade, as I still think there's potential for us to come deeper here. So as far as the live trade goes, I am going to remain patient and not scale into anything here, as I still would like to see these levels get tapped and this price level get reclaimed. So what I've gone and done is actually purchase a bit of spot XRP here, as my thesis for the long-term plan is for price to get to those $9 to $10 regions. So this short-term price action doesn't really bother me as far as my spot position goes. However, when taking the trade, the plan is to make this a $100,000 XRP trade here, and I would like to see these two levels get tapped before taking that trade. And I'm not 100% convinced that we're out of the gates here with this move. As you can see in both examples, the correction is much faster and much deeper, and that the V bottom out of here is much faster as well. And by today's standards, yes, we have not come as deep and we've somewhat bounced well. I'm still not convinced that the bottom is in here for XRP, so just playing it safe, buying a bit of spot in this zone and waiting for lower price action. Anyways guys, I'll keep it brief for this update video on XRP, as I still think there is more to play out in this structure here, and I'll be back later in the week with another video to update the way this price structure plays out, as I really would like to get into a live trade on the channel here. However, I am just being patient for now and waiting for the key levels to get hit. So I'll keep you guys updated later in the week with another video on this. Just buying spot for now, as we have fallen between 9 and 15% on this move here. So XRP on a little bit of a sale here. So much more happy to buy a little bit of spot here, seeing the size of the pullback that we've had over the weekend. And now we'll see how things play out during the rest of the week, and if we can set ourselves up for a nice long entry here on these zones that we have marked. So until then, just remaining patient, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Feel free to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and leave the video a like, it helps a lot.